Koufax is in northeastern Georgia tonight to get a sense of how this reopening is looking, and he is live in Commerce there with more. Matt?
Yeah, Cody, I'm standing actually just in front of the Commerce Cinemas. This is by the Tanger Outlets off I-85 when you're venturing down into Georgia. This is one of the first major theater companies. They're saying that they are going to continue to keep their doors closed. They own 22 cinemas here in Georgia. I also stopped by some restaurants in Livonia today to talk to folks about how they feel about this reopening overall.
Robert Harlan says he had a hankering for some hash browns.
Right now I'm waiting on it. I got to go in there and pick it up, yeah.
We caught up with him at Waffle House in Livonia. He says he brought his mask to pick up his to-go order, but going inside hasn't crossed his or his friends' minds yet.
A lot of them are hoping it don't, like you said, don't open too soon. That way, you know, it's trend to go back to spreading again, it just get worse.
Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp gave the okay to reopen the state last week. Since Friday, places like barbershops, tattoo parlors, and gyms have been open. Today was the very first day places like dine-in areas and movie theaters were allowed to as well.
They're keeping everybody apart, you know. Just don't finger your food and I feel like you're okay.
Becky Hoington did eat inside today, and she thinks that with certain restrictions stipulated in the governor's executive order in place, she'll be okay.
I think it's a good thing.
But there's one area where she draws a line.
I wouldn't go in a movie theater right now. No, they're not. I don't think they're ventilated enough, and they're kind of germy anyway.
Same for Antonio Stevens.
That seemed a little too much. Start small and work your way up. So I think they're moving a little too fast on that.
Stevens is a truck driver from Macon who has asthma. He says it's been tough.
It gets scary at times. Just try to double check yourself. Try to make sure everybody's safe and you safe at the same time.
He's glad he's able to stop in and eat while he's on the road, but still feels as if he's taking his life into his hands.
Everywhere I stop, everywhere I go, I'm sanitizing.
He adds he knows he can't control what's already been put in motion, so he's just hoping for the best.
You never know until you try, so we're going to see what happens.
A little bit of a mixed bag, as you can see there, but still, folks, plenty wary down here in our Georgia area. And I got a chance to speak to some of the employees and managers inside those restaurants that you saw that footage of in the story. They were unable to go on camera because of corporate restrictions, but they did tell me that it's going to take some getting used to for this new normal to set in. In Commerce tonight, Matt Koufax, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
Matt, thanks so much. And these are the new numbers out tonight from Georgia. 24,000 plus cases, and the death toll has now surpassed 1,000. And in North Carolina, they see right now a total of 9,142 cases across the state with 306 deaths. The CDC has also expanded the list of symptoms to look out for. Officials say people with COVID-19 are having these 6 signs: chills, repeated shaking, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and a new loss of smell or taste. And of course, we have continuing coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic inside our free Fox Carolina News app. The governor's Accelerate South Carolina task force is in full swing. What leaders are focusing on to reopen South Carolina?
And we take you to Columbia, where a group is petitioning with the help of a state representative to reopen hair salons.
Hello, can you see me? Yeah, I'm on this IFB and I can also hear myself. Is there a way to fix that? Like, I can hear everything I'm saying. Are you serious? What is my other option? To call in through another phone? I'm too ADD for that. It's literally like a sentence. And I'm hearing my sentence now. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Yeah, I can hear myself still. "45 seconds and I'm going to be able to hear every word I'm going to say. This is going to be so distracting." You know what it is? Yeah. Mic check, mic check. That's what it is.
You're watching Fox Carolina News, the local station.
Welcome back. Governor McMaster extended the state of emergency, keeping South Carolina closed for the time being. But there's work being done behind closed doors by his task force called AccelerateSC. We were there in Columbia today as they met to bring real issues to the forefront. Fox Carolina Shale Remien has been following this since the announcement last week. So, Shale, a lot of ground covered today out of the Capitol, right?
Yeah, it absolutely was, Cody. You know, it was a 2-hour meeting that talked about everything from our education system to our economy. And I got to speak to one CEO who said this is not just a group of people talking. These are engaged leaders who really want to make a difference and get our state back on track.
We know when we recover from a hurricane, it gets sunny. That's when we can come back. When are we going to come back? When will it be sunny here in South Carolina?
Right now, uncertainty seems to be on the horizon, but this group is working to bring answers to the surface in South Carolina.
People aren't going to go out and shop just because the lights are on. We will have to make sure our workplaces are safe and our businesses are safe and people feel good before they come back.
Hand-selected professionals, Governor McMaster is easing the state towards reopening with a force called AccelerateSC.
They're not working. There's no income coming in. So we're faced with things like forgiving late payment penalties.
The goal? To get our economy humming again. But during this pandemic, Dr. Ross and others are pointing out the alarming numbers emerging within education.
We've missed 30% of the school year.
When we looked at the impact on our non-public schools, we saw a $31 to $100 million loss projected next year based on us losing enrollment.
We do that with hundreds of programs that range from 2 months to 2 years.
State leaders, law enforcement, and high-ranking executives are brainstorming by the hour, and this governance group is only 1 out of 5.
I think one of the things that this response group will be talking about is looking for some creative solutions to try to assist the working parent workforce.
CEO of the South Carolina Manufacturers Alliance, Sarah Hazard, falls into the response committee. She sees the daily struggles 12% of our workforce is facing.
The things that we are consistently hearing is questions about guidance from the state level leaders on how companies should open up their businesses, what the expectations are.
And I mentioned how Sarah Hazard's group will meet this Wednesday. She's in the response group. They're going to be going over certain things, and we'll be following those developments very closely all throughout the week. In Greenville County, I'm Shale Remien, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.